Hey there. So you're here because you want to be more social, right? Maybe you feel a little awkward in conversations, or maybe the thought of walking into a room full of people makes your stomach drop. Trust me, you're not alone. Social anxiety is something so many of us struggle with. But the good news is, it doesn't have to control your life. Today, I'm going to share some practical, actionable steps you can take to feel more confident and connect with others in a way that feels authentic and natural. Let's go. Before we can work towards improving our social interactions, it's important to know where social anxiety comes from. Some people are just wired to be more sensitive to social situations. Your brain might be extra alert to potential threats, like someone judging you, and it releases stress hormones, like cortisol, that make you feel anxious. It's like your brain's alarm system warning you, and your body's response shows up physically, such as being nervous and feeling stressed out. Past experiences can really shape how you feel in social situations. For example, if you were bullied, criticized, or humiliated in the past, your brain might now associate social situations with danger. Growing up in an environment where you were constantly told to be perfect and or don't embarrass me, or where social interactions felt unsafe can also contribute. Learned behavior. Sometimes social anxiety can come from watching how others act. If you grew up in a family or around people who were really anxious in social settings, you might have picked up on those behaviors without even realizing it. We live in a world where there's a lot of pressure to fit in, be liked, or perform well socially. This can make anyone feel on edge, especially if you're someone who tends to overthink or worry about what others think. Why do we get it? At its core, social anxiety often comes down to fear of rejection or judgment. Humans are social creatures. We evolved to care about what others think because, way back in the day, being accepted by the group was essential for survival. If you were rejected, it could mean being left alone to face danger. So, in a way, social anxiety is like your brain's way of trying to protect you, even if it's overdoing it. For example, you might worry about saying something stupid because your brain is trying to avoid the danger of being judged. You might avoid social situations altogether because your brain sees them as a threat, even though they're not actually dangerous. With all that said, it's not your fault. It's natural to feel this way. The important thing to remember is that social anxiety isn't something you choose or something that's wrong with you. It's a combination of your brain, your experiences, and maybe even your environment. The good news is it's totally manageable. Next, we'll talk about how we can improve in this area and learn to manage it. Section 1. Start small, build confidence through small steps. Okay, first things first, let's not try to run before we can walk. If socializing feels overwhelming, just start small. For example, instead of forcing yourself to go to a huge party or place with a bunch of people, try striking up a conversation with someone in a low-pressure environment, like a coffee shop or at the cash register. Here's an example. Let's say you're waiting in line for coffee. Instead of scrolling through your phone, try making a quick comment like, "I always get the same thing here. What's your go-to order?" Another example is asking the cashier at the register, "How is your day going?" It's simple, it's low stakes, and it's a great way to practice talking to strangers without feeling too much pressure. Great thing is that you'll eventually have to make space for the next person in line, so it allows the interaction to be kept short as you improve on your small talk over time. I've had experiences where the cashier responded, "Thank you for asking. You are the first person to ask me that today." And it's before the store is closing down. So you can potentially make someone's day on top of improving your own. The key here is to celebrate the small wins. Did you say hello to someone new? That's a win. Did you ask a cashier how their day was? Another win. Over time, these small interactions will build your confidence and make bigger social situations feel less intimidating. Section 2. Focus on listening, not just talking. Here's a secret. Being good at socializing isn't about being the most talkative person in the room. In fact, one of the best ways to connect with others is to be a great listener. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at a networking event and you're nervous about what to say. Instead of worrying about impressing people, try asking open-ended questions like, "What brought you to this event?" Or, "What do you enjoy most about your work?" Then really listen to their answer. Nod, practice making eye contact, and ask follow-up questions based off their responses. People love feeling heard, and when you focus on listening, it takes the pressure off you to perform. Plus, it helps you find common ground, which is the foundation of any great conversation. When someone really listens to you, it feels amazing, right? It's the same for others. Being a good listener makes you come across as thoughtful, empathetic, and easy to talk to, qualities that naturally draw people to you. So, next time you're in a social situation, try shifting your focus to listening. It's not just about being quiet, it's about being genuinely interested. And honestly, it makes the whole experience way more enjoyable for both of you. Section 3. Practice positive self-talk and reframe your mindset. Let's talk about something that might be holding you back. Your inner critic. You know, that voice in your head that says things like, "What if I sound stupid?" Or, "What if they don't like me?" Here's the thing, those thoughts are normal, but they're not helpful. One technique that's helped me and many others is called reframing. Instead of thinking, "I'm so awkward," try reframing it to, "I'm learning, and it's okay to make mistakes." For example, if you're at a social event and you feel nervous, remind yourself, "I'm here to connect, not to be perfect." This shift in mindset can make a huge difference in how you approach social situations. Do you remember the last few times you heard someone spoke and you remember exactly what they said and if you judged them on it? Most likely not. Most people are so focused on themselves that they're not judging you nearly as much as you think they are. This is part of reframing as well and can help to get you out of your own head and lead you down a more positive way to look at talking with others. Your brain believes what you tell it. If you keep telling yourself you're bad at socializing, you'll feel bad. But if you start telling yourself, "I'm getting better at this," or "I am a social person and I'm working on improving," your brain starts to believe that too. It's like rewiring your mindset to be your own ally instead of your own enemy. Section 4. Join groups or activities that align with your interests. Another great way to become more social is to put yourself in environments where you're more likely to meet like-minded people. This could be anything from a book club, a sports team, a cooking class, or even an online community. For example, let's say you love hiking. Joining a local hiking group not only gives you something to talk about, like your favorite trails or gear, but it also takes the pressure off because you're all there for the same reason. The beauty of this approach is that it gives you a built-in conversation starter. You're not just forcing small talk, you're bonding over shared interests, which makes socializing feel so much more natural. Let's be real. Socializing is way more fun when you're doing something you actually like. Instead of dreading small talk, you'll be excited to share your thoughts, learn from others, or just enjoy the activity together. It turns socializing from a chore into something you look forward to. Section 5. Embrace vulnerability and be yourself. Here's the truth. No one is perfect, and trying to be perfect in social situations is exhausting. The most authentic connections happen when we let our guard down and show our real selves. For example, if you're feeling nervous, it's okay to say something like, "I'm always a little awkward at these things, but I'm really glad I came." Chances are the other person will relate and appreciate your honesty. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. When you're genuine, it gives others permission to be genuine too. And that's where real connections are made. As you embrace your vulnerability through the journey of improving your social skills, it will help you to embrace who you truly are, and that will come through as you improve in this area. And while you might feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning, you'll start to be more comfortable in just being yourself. Section 6. Practice, practice, practice. Finally, remember that social skills are just that, skills. And like any skill, they get better with practice. It doesn't matter how unskilled you are at first. If you practice, you will get better, guaranteed. You're not going to become a social butterfly overnight, and that's okay. Practice isn't just about doing the same thing over and over. It's about learning from each experience. Maybe one conversation didn't go perfectly, but you can reflect on it and think, what worked? What could I do differently next time? This helps you refine your skills and get better bit by bit. Set small goals for yourself. Maybe this week your goal is to say hello to one new person. Next week, maybe it's to attend a small gathering. Over time, these small steps will add up, and you'll start to notice that socializing feels less scary and more enjoyable. The more you expose yourself to social situations, the less scary they become. Your brain starts to realize, hey, this isn't actually a threat. It's like getting used to the water. You might feel nervous at first, but the more you dip your toes in, the more comfortable you'll feel. All right, friends. We've covered a lot today. Starting small, listening more, reframing your mindset, joining groups, embracing vulnerability, and practicing consistently. Remember, being more social isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about showing up as your authentic self and giving yourself permission to connect with others. You've got this. And if you ever feel like you're struggling, just come back to this video and remind yourself that progress takes time. I believe in you, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it too. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on productivity coming soon. I hope you got some value today. I'll see you in the next one.